We're on the outskirts of Cardiff, the capital city of Wales, and we're heading down to the River Taff. And it's lovely to hear the birds singing on this gorgeous spring day. The River Taff, the river that runs right into our capital city and alongside some incredible historical places. And here we are with a beach behind me. So I've no idea if we're going to find anything, but you don't know if you don't look. So let's have a look.
Ooh, come on everyone. First one down onto the beach gets the prize of being first one down on the beach.
I win.
Well done. Wait for us, we're coming. Right, this is quite a big beach. Lot of stones. Lots of bits and pieces have washed down, but is there anything that we're looking for? If we look down by our feet straight away, you've got what looks like part of a shopping trolley. You've got the pedal of a bike. And oh, there's the brake caliper off a bike, so I'm assuming that is the bike.
We've got a few clues to the fact there is stuff coming down the river. See, that glass isn't terribly well worn. No,
but it's still a bit of old glass.
But this big chunk,
oh yes, it's a
that's definitely glazed, isn't it?
Mm.
And that possibly off the same object. It's a very similar colour.
That's quite promising.
So it does show...
Oh, 3 dogs.
It does show that there's bits and pieces coming down. Are we going to find something really good? Let's have a look and see if we can.
I picked up this piece of river glass and thought I'm probably not going to find much river glass. But then wandering along, I found a few more pieces, so I thought, let's turn the camera on, you can come and look with me. There's that piece and that piece. And I saw another piece somewhere. There. Oh, that's a nice piece.
One of your favourites. It's got the metal in it.
Oh, I love those. Let's have a look. Here's the sun. Ta-da! Oh, another piece.
Lovely thin piece.
Oh, this is quite a good piece for river glass.
Quite thick chunk that one, but not quite as rounded.
Right. Oh, and there's another piece. There. Oh. So it's not bad, is it? For what, a minute?
I can see a brick.
I think found a brick.
I have found a brick.
Where
just over there. It looks a plain one from this side, but who knows?
Oh, is there something on the other side?
I tell you what, it's a nice thin brick, so it wouldn't be too heavy to carry if it is a good one.
Right. Here we go, drum roll please. Oh, so there's something on it.
Oh.
SJ Graig the British made.
Graig the. I've got 2 of those now.
Right.
And neither are quite that quality, I don't think, with the name on and the British made so clear. So that is popping in the bag.
Oh, look what I found here. It's a bit of ridge pottery. What is a mudlark without
ridge pottery?
And just over that hump is another trolley. At least one. I think there could be 2. The other one's a little bit munched up and rusted away. But the river looks lovely. The birds are singing away. And Phil is busy looking for bricks and river glass and treasure. That looks interesting, right up on the banking. Wonder what that's doing up there and what it is. Looks like old enamelware. Got some writing on it. Ooh. It's in a bit of a bad way. Yep, look at the bottom on that. It's actually quite beautiful in its own way. Look at that, all crunched up. What does it say? Biscuits! Look at that! It's an old biscuit tub. A biscuit barrel. Oh, that's really pretty. I don't think it's going to hold biscuits anymore, but it is interesting. I think I'm going to take that and see what I can do with it, just because, woo, still alive. I love it. Oh, isn't that nice? I found these 2 more bits of river glass, and I didn't turn the camera on because I thought, well, we can have a look when I've got a handful, but then I looked down and saw this and thought, we've got to have a look at this. At first I thought it was a marble, but it's not. It's a lump of brick that has been rolled around in the river for years and years. You can see the inclusions in there. Possibly 100 years have been rolled around in the river, and it's very much like a marble. So I'm having that. I think it's lovely. And we've still got an awful lot of beach to explore. Ooh, such fun. The dreaded knotweed is starting to sprout again. If I move my shadow out of the way, you can see such a strong plant. So we won't even be able to get down here in a couple of weeks' time, because it'll be overrun with knotweed. All the way down to the water. Oh, what's that? That's something in... Oh, it's a piece of glass too, a piece of river glass, and... Oh, I like that. It seems to be the top of a lamp. I don't think it'll be a downward hanging one. And I'm guessing copper. You can see inside there where a bulb or a candle would have been, not quite sure which. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's one of the best finds so far. Oh, what's this? Now I'm going to guess at a bit of broken insulator. Yes, and look where that's been washed and washed in the river. Not a lot left, but very smooth. Let's have a look what happens if I throw this in the water. I do love throwing things into the river. Walk down carefully because it's very uneven underfoot. Here we go. Ooh, wasn't that fun?
Seeing you do that,
yes.
Someone suggested that what you should have a go at is skimming stones.
Oh, I tried. I did try. Phil and Tom had a go skimming stones and they were brilliant. I failed. Every time my stone just went plop.
Look, still water.
Yeah.
Beach full of stones.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll have a little go.
You can have a go, I'm going to fail.
I'll have a go.
So here we go, Phil's attempt at skimming stones.
Oh, only two.
Two, that's more than I get.
Try again.
1, 2, 3.
3.
Oh, it's getting better.
Get it better.
Well, Phil is looking. Look what I spotted. It's a face on a stone. Nothing written on it, but a very smiley face. And I love you. And some more decoration. And a little bit of decoration on that one. Oh, isn't that happy? Very nice.
I'm going to try 1 foot in the water.
Oh, right, go on then.
Serious now.
Here we go.
I can see Tom.
Yeah, I think Tom gets it.
You've got youth on your side and skill. But still, I've had a bit of exercise.
And you beat me because I didn't get in.
Oh.
Now this is interesting. It looks like a vintage toothbrush, which means that we could be getting near a dump, because I wouldn't have thought anybody came down onto the river 50 years ago to clean their teeth. So, does this bode well? Are we going to find more? Ooh, let's go have a look. Well, look at this. It's a child's hobnail shoe, and look how complete that is. That's pretty amazing. It's right there around the back, but the stitching has come undone. Whoa, I do think we're going to start finding things soon. It's got even a little heart on the bottom of the shoe. Wow. Yep, I think we're heading in the right direction. Hello, Mr. Johnson, what have you found?
I will show you my find, but I would just like to say, it's interesting how quickly your mind can settle into a different level of expectation.
Right.
Because we arrived here and I thought, I don't know if we're going to find anything. And then you start to think of the sort of things you find in other places. But within minutes, I start to get excited about the sea glass, about lovely bits of smooth
bit of flower pot,
terracotta.
Is it? Or a proving bowl, I'd say. It's
but
glazed.
then I've got some, it's well worn. For the river, we're doing really well, but it's not all plain, look.
Bits of china, that's a bit of willow pattern.
Yeah, and I got another bit there, look.
Oh, that's pretty, yeah.
And then some gorgeous, gorgeous, well washed bits of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've got all sorts of things, but then a couple more bits of glass there.
Right.
But somewhere under here, of course, not to be beaten, I've got my ridge pottery.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully I haven't lost my prized little find. Just
bit of blue
that
sea
little
glass.
jewel there.
Very nice.
Little jewel of river glass blue.
That looks like a giant screw. Oh, it's a wooden one. It must be off a child's toy. It was originally yellow. It's washed to death now, but that's a bit of fun. Oh, I like that. There's no thread inside, so you couldn't use it as a, I don't know, some sort of nut or something, but it's very interesting. Well, we've been very good. We've been looking at the beach for a while now, and we haven't been in the water. Now, I can't see a lot in the water, but that doesn't mean we don't want to go for a paddle. So come on, pop your wellies on. We're going in. Oh, that's cool, but not freezing. If anything, it's quite pleasant because my feet are starting to get a bit hot. This sun is quite strong. Now we got the usual rubbish and things that's been thrown in. There's a wheel hub from a Vauxhall. Oh, is that a bit of pipe stem? Okay, let's play the game. Is this twig or pipe stem? Oh, twig. Oh, look at this little brick. I love these little thin ones. Unfortunately, somebody smashed it, but isn't that lovely? I wonder if we'll find any whole ones like that. What have you got, Mr. Johnson?
What have I got? I've got lots. Now, there's a little bit of the handle, there's bits of glass, there's lovely bits of china. There's one bit, I believe, that's got some pattern on it. There we go, but there, look.
Right.
All beautifully smoothed off, beautiful river glass. But this is what's intrigued me, is that one, and that one, because they're stones.
Yes, they
but
look
I
so
picked them
pretty.
up at first thinking they were something man-made because of the beautiful pattern on them. And on that side, that one looks really amazing, doesn't it?
Oh yes. What have you dropped?
Then I've got some bits of wood. I dropped one, I'll get it now. That's a bit of fibre board, but I just love the texture.
Yes, it looks like Cinderella's pumpkin carriage.
Now what do you make of that one then?
Oh no, that's interesting. It goes round
Isn't
the
it?
corner.
Isn't it just?
No idea what it is.
No,
What
but
have
I
you
thought
seen with that sort of bend and wood?
intriguing that is.
It
And
is.
then
Oh.
that is just a bit of bark.
Bit of bark, very pretty.
I'd say the second one is probably what they call steam bent, isn't it?
Yes.
When they take a board and steam bend it. And look at this. At first you think, oh, he's got bad woodworm, but no, he's just lost all his bristles because I think that was a hairbrush.
Oh, poor thing.
But I think it's got a form all of its own now.
Especially with those holes, it looks
Yeah.
lovely.
Bound to be able to do something with that, I would imagine.
I would have thought so.
And speaking of doing something with the things we find, of course, it's over at the shed, those things get done. So we're almost at the end. We're going to pop just to the very end and have a look before we double back. So while we get down to the end of the island, come over with me to the shed, see what's going on. Welcome to my shed, folks. It's great to have you back with me again here in the shed, where I'm doing a little bit more creating. Yes, the project to actually establish this as a clean workspace is ongoing, but I've got the room to work and I've got an idea. And those are the only two things you need, really. If you've got a shed full of stuff and you've got enough room to work and an idea, then the world's your oyster. Who knows how it's going to turn out. And today I want to do a little piece of craft with you, inspired by our time there on the River Taff. What a fantastic location. So much of the beauty of nature. You know, we've seen squirrels scampering up trees. We've watched the bees as they fly amongst the fallen tree stumps. It's just been incredible. There've even been ducks on the river, and well, the beauty of nature, it is inspiring wherever you are. But of course, among all that beauty, all that nature, that glorious river that has served the capital for so long and was there long before there were any cities or towns or people along its banks, we have been finding little pieces of treasure. Now, when I say little pieces of treasure, of course, I'm referring to the river glass that we're finding today. We are finding so much of it, and so beautifully smooth. That lovely feel, but also that lovely texture as well that it creates when it's frosted by the flowing water. So I want to take some river glass and I want to create a little magical scene. Now, what I'd like to make at the center of this is one particular piece of river glass that I've picked up today, and that is my little blue gem. There you have it there. Isn't that a gorgeous little bit of blue glass? We've got larger pieces around. I've got some rather big pieces which I've got in my display glass there in that lovely Art Deco bowl that I picked up from the thrift store. But this size is perfectly suited to going into a display. My problem is that whilst using so many pieces of glass, because I want to use river glass throughout this piece, I need this to hold center place. And I've come up with an idea, because I'm going to use not only river glass, one of my bottles that I found, I'm also going to be using this little character here, which is a little character that Caroline picked up on one of our wanders and brought back with her. Also, I'm going to be using something I've bought brand new. Yep, I've been out and bought a brand new item which I'm going to use for a piece of craft in my shed. Now, I know it's unusual for me to use new items, but this was picked up at one of our cheap stores, sort of pound stores or One Below. We've got several of them here. I think over in America you've got Dollar Tree and companies like that, where they sell things inexpensively, shall we say. And this is a solar light on a spike to go into the garden. But I'm going to take this apart and make use of it today in what I hope is going to be a beautiful little piece of artwork that displays my gem to its full potential. Now, what I thought to do was, as you can see back here, I've got this set of drawers, and I thought I'd just take one of the drawers out and turn it over so that it becomes a plinth for the moment. But as I did so, can you see at the back there? Something I never noticed when I showed you this set of drawers. It's got stamped in the back, supplied for public service. I thought that was really cute. And there we have it with the solar light fitting on the top. And all we need now is something the shed can't provide at the moment, and that is darkness. So I'm just going to take this and place it in the dark so you can see the final effect before we go back over and continue our adventure there on the River Taff. Well, actually, I do have darkness in the daytime here in the shed, because I have my gorgeous cupboard.
This is a bit of a purse, I'd say, from 1950s, 1960s. So that's an interesting vintage item. I'm convinced there's a dump around here somewhere, but where is it? There's still plenty of beats to be checking.
I've seen something.
Oh, what have you seen? What have you
I've
seen?
seen something.
I'm coming, I'm coming. Down there.
I was just saying, the trouble is getting your eye in amongst all of these stones, and look, hard marble.
Oh yes, look.
As I said, getting your eye to see between the stones, I looked down and look what I saw.
A cod marble, excellent.
That's it.
Spotted.
I'm chuffed.
Go to the top of the class, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, I've never been to the top of the class. I've been outside the door once or twice.
Enjoy it, you may never get there again. What's this big metal lump here? Do you think that's a kettle or something? No, it's a saucepan. There's not a lot of life left in that though, is there? No. I don't think I'll be using that in my kitchen. Oh, look at this poor little ducky. Oh, such a cheerful face and then a big hole. Poor thing. I wonder if he can fix that. Just give him a flowery haircut. Oh, I definitely think it's worth trying. Come on then, ducky, you can come home and live with us. Oh, look, there's a quarry tile. Oh, there's a button by the side of it too. Let's have a look. Oh, that's a nice find. And this quarry tile. It says JCE. You can't see that, can you? JGE actually. Yep, JGE I think. Ooh, they're really heavy, these tiles, made of clay. There is an awful amount of rubbish caught in this fallen tree, but look what I've seen. It's a ball. What is a mudlark without finding a ball? Aha, we've got a saucepan lid.
The fascination of the flowing river is universal across the world and across time. But of course, where the river was very much a place of necessity years ago, today I suppose it's, in our land at least, and in the Western world, it's a place of leisure and luxury. But there are still places in the world where being near a river is vital to life. And that's how it was here. The River Taff drew people to itself. And of course, if you could find an area on the river where you could ford the river, so you could easily cross from side to side, that was a distinct advantage. And there's such a spot about 1.5 miles down river from here on the River Taff. And it was there that a monastery was established in the 6th century when an early Christian by the name of Dyfrig, now a Welsh saint, established a monastery right on this river where it was able to ford quite easily. There's very little left now of the church itself. In fact, the entire church has disappeared and all that stands is a Celtic cross as a reminder of those days. Because quite a few centuries later, along came a bishop who built a cathedral. Yes, it was Bishop Urban who in 1107 decided to rebuild the Celtic church as a phenomenal building, a cathedral, a place of great stature, a place that today is still deemed to be one of the greatest examples of medieval masonry in the whole of Wales. There's still the remnants of the Norman church that stood there. That's separate to the cathedral, but it's the cathedral that now dominates the landscape. Even as you drive a mile away, as you come through Cardiff towards Llandaff, you see the tower rising above the properties. And what a phenomenal place. A place that's seen its fair share of tests over time. Following the Reformation, the place really started to fall into disrepair because it relied totally on pilgrims coming and making their contributions, and that source of income dried up. Eventually the roof collapsed and the place was almost a ruin. But there was some major restoration work went on in the 1700s, and then again in the late Victorian period, real substantial renovations and repairs were carried out. And there were further repairs after it was bomb damaged during the Second World War. But the combination of all those repairs, together with the amazing structure that was established initially, leaves us with a phenomenal and beautiful building today, standing proud in the city of Cardiff. Building that attracts visitors from all parts, still associated with the local school that bears the name of Llandaff Cathedral, and a very prestigious school which is actually in the grounds of the cathedral. But then across the road there's another building, or at least the remains of a building, and that building is the Bishop's Palace. Now it's believed that the Bishop's Palace was built in the time of the Bishop de Braose. Now this would have been at the similar time to the building of Caerphilly Castle, and that's what gives the archaeologists and the historians the sense that that's when it was built, because they believe that the masonry on the entry gate as you go through into what was once this fortified palace for the bishop to live in is of such distinct features that are so similar to the structure of Caerphilly Castle that they believe it must have been built by the same master mason. So we're talking 1266, there or thereabouts, 200 years after the Norman conquest. And the bishops lived quite merrily there in their beautiful fortified palace right across the road from the cathedral for about 140 years. Then, according to legend and certain reports from history, there was the uprising around between 1402 and 1405 by Owain Glyndŵr, the Welsh uprising. And that saw damage to the cathedral, but also significant damage to the fortified palace too. So the bishops decided to move out, and they headed off up to Monmouth, and there they stayed for some 400 years before coming back to live near their actual seat of power. Yes, it was 1850 when the bishops finally returned to the locality and made their residence, but not in the Bishop's Palace now, as that had been destroyed. And as we see it these days, it stands as a garden for the public, a beautiful, peaceful place. Yes, there's some traffic noise, you are in a busy city, but still gives you that little escape from the hustle and bustle of all around you. Now, it is believed that probability is the palace saw its final end during the Civil War, the English Civil War. The reason they think that was because there is a report that shows the building standing in 1610. So it's a fair guess that the next big ordeal in our land would have been the Civil War, and that's probably when it met its end. But while it's gone as a building, it's no longer a residence other than for the birds and the bees, it's still a beautiful place. A place where you can relax, a place where you can think, a place where you can take time from the things that rob us of so much of our time. I think it's beautiful even as it is, but that's not denying it probably looked marvellous when it was built.
Do you want to know what I found while you were doing your history bit?
Go on then, what did you find? Oh, it's got words on it.
Yes, look at that. It's a Thomas and Ellis Porth stone ginger jar.
And a prime example of what I was saying earlier. If we were to find a whole one of them on another site, that would be exciting. But to find that here is brilliant.
It is.
It's absolutely wonderful. Not perhaps find of the day. It's got to compete with the cod marble, with a Victorian shoe. You know, what do you like, folks? Let us know.
Now this is gorgeous and so well worn. I haven't seen a piece that's quite this well worn. It's one of those Victorian tiles from a fireplace. Probably lilies, I would imagine. Beautiful colour, but look at it. That has got to have spent decades and decades, if not 100 years in the river. Look at that. Oh, it's really pretty, and that's coming home with us. We do love finding these Victorian tiles. Have you found anything, Mr. Johnson?
I have.
I see you bending over there. What have you got?
Reminiscent of the Detectorists.
Right.
One of my favourite shows on TV. Found a ring pull.
Oh, wow.
What I-
1977.
I was
or
going to say,
whatever.
what I can't do like the boys on the Detectorists is give you the details of the brand and the year and the metal content. But I like that. Just because it's got a hole in it.
Oh, yes.
That's the only reason I did.
It's a hag tile.
It's a hag tile, yeah, it's a bit of tile, but somehow it's managed to get a punctured hole right through it.
I wonder if they drilled that to hang something up on
I
it.
was about to say maybe somebody drilled a small hole through
could
to
be.
pop a nail in. And I thought that was it just captured my imagination, you know. And then today is a glass day.
Oh, lovely.
Look at these. Look at the green on there. I don't know if you can hold up to the sun. I don't know if it'll come through nicely for you, but there's a lovely frosted green. And all of the glass is this gorgeous, well-worn. It is brilliant. And of course, because the pieces are so worn, the patterns are faded.
Yep.
At first you can't see them, and then they're there. And that one is quite bright because that hasn't been around so long.
No.
But some nice little finds there, I think.
That's my tile.
Oh, that's lovely.
My glass, and I'll give you your very precious ring pull back.
Oh, yes, yes.
Mustn't forget your ring pull. Ooh. Oh, look here. We got that there, a bit of a flagon. We got that there. And this, I don't think they're even off the same thing. 3 of them together. Oh, what's the chances? Still, they're never going to be fixed together, are they? Hello.
I've been finding things again.
Have you?
Yes. I've been finding...
Oh, more river glass.
Yeah, no. Look at that. It's a lovely chunky base.
Yeah.
I think that's possibly green again.
I think so. It's a tiny hint of green.
There's some lovely pale colours in those. Look at them.
Yes, very nice.
Some lovely stuff. One or two lovely warm bits of china there. That was the nearest I come to thinking I found a pipe stem.
Oh, yes, it does look a bit like a
I
pipe
thought there's
stem.
got to be pipe stems here.
No, none
they
of
are
them.
hidden well. But still, if you find a cod marble, you mustn't complain you didn't find a pipe stem, I suppose. And that one. That looks, I think, piece of slag glass maybe.
I think so, yes.
But I haven't seen a piece that well rounded and smooth. That's again been in the river a long while. It's given her a lovely shape.
Very pretty.
You can't see through it
through
because
no.
it's nature, but lovely piece all the same.
Nice, thanks.
Thank you.
Ooh, that was
I've
fast.
seen a train. I'm a train spotter.
Don't worry, there's a fence there.
Yes.
You weren't in any danger at all.
Yeah, this is a peculiar crossing. We're on a railway crossing with a small appendage, a little bridge for us to walk on, crossing over the Taff. Obviously a new addition, but very grateful for it. And there's Castle Coch. I don't know if anyone can see it in the distance.
Now, I don't know if I'm pointing the right place. It's sort of there. Castle Coch. I'll put an arrow on if I was pointing to the complete wrong place.
Yes, because that was built by Lord Bute, and it's built in the style of the French fairy castle. That's what we always called it as children, wasn't
It is. I always thought the fairies lived there.
Yeah, and we used to go there on school trips 55 years ago.
Ooh.
I'm getting old.
You are.
I mentioned as we came over the footbridge that it was a new addition, relatively new. But the interesting thing is, as we walk under this arch of the railway bridge, hopefully you can see on camera that line in the centre there. See the line? These are 2 bridges really, totally side by side, because the one carried a single rail and then it went double, or double went quadruple, but they needed more space to carry more stuff, so that's what they did. They just built another bridge, laid another line, and the rest, as they say, is history.
We're on another part of the beach. The birds are still chirping away. They're very noisy today. Beautiful. Look, I found a bit of a clock with some added stones. You know, you get these 17 jewel and 15 jewel. Well, this is a 3 rock movement. No idea what it's from. Is it a clock? No, I don't think it is a clock. It's got lots of copper wire around it, so it's probably something electronic. What? I have no idea. So what have you got? You looking proud of yourself?
No, if I'd found a pipe stem, I'd be jolly proud today, but
Yep.
they are so elusive.
They are.
They got to be here. By the stuff we're finding, you got a Victorian boot, you got a cod marble, they're here, but they're not in sight.
Nope.
And we've covered some acres of islands and beaches, but I have been picking up
Some nice bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Lots of white.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's got ear on it.
Aye.
Probably beer, from ginger beer.
Another piece of the glass with...
Oh, with the metal in.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
That looked like the top of a skeleton skull, if you put it round that way.
Oh, yes.
Or an alien head or something, so I just picked it up because I found it interesting. But some nice patterned and plain pieces there. So I thought I'd pop them in the bag.
Why not? Oh, now look, there's something to tease me. Look in there, there's a jar. It's broken. But it means there are things here. We just can't see anything because there's so much overgrowth and so much mud has tumbled down. And looking on the beach here, I can't see much has fallen down either. I found this and I'm really sad that there's no way this is going to come out of the ground. It's an old milk crate. Pretty rusted, not in brilliant condition, but I think it would have been so lovely and just had a lovely look to it as a display item, but it's completely wedged in that ground. It's going nowhere. If we have a look at, there was a very small area where there were a lot of bits and pieces. I thought we may get bigger pieces, and now they all seem to have stopped. But I'm not going to let that put me off. I'm going to keep walking along and checking, because at any point we could start to see things again. Look what I've seen. And Cardi. I wonder what that was. Have you got any idea? Do you recognise that off whatever bottle it came off? That's interesting. What's this here? There's a bit of some sort of rubber ball. And a piece of vintagey looking plate. Don't forget, shout if you see something. Ooh. Can you see that? Oh, look at that. Now it might not be lead, but it's plastic. I'd say that's vintage. Look, oh, it's lovely. Oh, I'm really pleased with that. I assume that there was a rider that sat on it and there was those little lug things or sprues that stuck in there to hold him on. Oh, that's really nice. Is there anything else? A bit of plastic something. Pumpkin. Ah, now this should give us an idea of some dates. What's this? Palm old. Or is it palm olive? No. Yes, it's palm olive. Oh, palm olive bottle. Oh, we'll take that home, wash it up, and we'll have a look at that on the live show. 9 o'clock every Saturday night. UK time, we have a live show where we wash our finds and show you them, have a quiz, have a chat. So you can have a look at my palm olive bottle and we'll see if we can date this and know roughly when all this rubbish was put in this area. See you there.
I have 2 small finds.
Oh, right, let's have a look. Oh, there's nice.
Not a big one.
Yes.
Look how smooth and tactile that is.
Top of a flagon. And even the little jug pourer. Lovely. And grey too. Don't see so many grey ones.
And a little bit more river glass, sorry. And we're finding quite a bit of river glass. It's been rich in river glass supplies. But to my surprise, also, for you my dear, art supplies.
Oh, look at that.
Now, I think that brush may be beyond its best of days, but I did think that perhaps for certain application purposes, look how fluffy it is on the top.
Like a punk rocker paintbrush.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
And an orange pencil.
Oh, wow, look at that. It's got orange lead in it.
It's amazing what you find on the river.
Oh, it is. Look at that. I won't need art supplies for the rest of my life. You're keeping me so well provided for.
Well, I think that might be an overstatement.
Yes, I
But
think it
still,
probably is.
It's always nice to find something you can use, isn't it?
It is.
Now, for instance, there's a lovely bit of driftwood here.
It's not a lovely bit of driftwood. It's a huge tree. If I show you behind, Phil, it goes all the way down there. It's massive. It's probably about 50 feet altogether.
Yeah, that would be even too big for a garden feature.
It would.
So no matter what forms and shapes you may see in it, folks, it's not going home with us. I've had a wonderful time today. Hope you have too. I've loved the weather. Look at this. No coat.
Woo!
Woo! Wandering around, even walking in the water just to cool my feet off. That's how lovely it's been. And the scenery's been beautiful. The river glass, in fact, I can see a piece right at my feet. I'll be picking that up in a moment before I leave. The river glass has been brilliant. If you've enjoyed it as much as we have, then please click the like button. You know, give us the old thumbs up. That would be brilliant. But most important, till the next time we're out and about and you decide to go with the Johnsons, have fun. Bye.
Bye.